sort of overextending themselves or doing what other people want and what they really want to do. And so I guess the fantasy in that case is really that maybe someone else is going to step in and make this decision. But when you can't make a decision, it's also much more difficult to set that line in the sand and say, actually, I can't come to the movies tonight. I have a deadline, or I won't be able to stay for dessert because da da da, or I won't be able to take on that extra piece of writing because I have to get the other report done first. So that's a decision. But if a person thinks, I don't know what's going to happen if I make this decision or something's kind of bad's going to happen, a person then may hold back on making decisions and then may repetitively have this issue around decision making. The second sort of sign of poor boundaries is somebody who is a people pleaser. Now, people pleasing is a massive risk for all kinds of poor boundaries, and it's how a lot of people paint themselves into a corner. People pleasing is exactly what it sounds like. It's giving in against what a person actually wants and doing what other people want. It's denying one's own self interest, it's denying one's own wants, desires, you name it. So when a person is people pleasing, they're literally just catering to what other people want. When I've worked clinically with people pleasers, one thing that I have really sort of focused on is that be aware of the dynamic, but also there's sometimes some secondary gain from being a people pleaser, right? Because when you're a people pleaser, you're the nice person and you get to maintain that identity of, oh, that person's cool. They're so nice. They just go along and it's sort of like this weird kind of strangely manipulative dance. You people please. The people who are being pleased are saying, aren't they great? Aren't they wonderful? So they're reinforcing something that's actually harming the people pleaser. And the people pleaser's buy in, the people pleaser person's buy in, is that they get to walk through the world as the nice, accommodating person. So some of the work in therapy goes a lot deeper. It's saying, why is it so important for you to be viewed as this person who always goes along, who always makes people's lives easier? And it's about sort of breaking down some of those schemas, the identity around that, understanding the history around that. Because when we people please, we set terrible boundaries. We will stay out later than we want. We will do more than we want. We'll take on all kinds of additional roles and responsibilities that can really put us in a sort of an uncomfortable, again, potentially toxic situation because we just keep trying to please that other person. I think that when a person is a people pleaser and they found an audience of people who are willing to suck up all their people pleasing, that also gets to be, again, a sort of a toxic dance that the people who are being pleased are saying, well, this is great. I don't have to question it. Word to everyone out there who is being people pleased, you're on the receiving end of it. It's not our job to hold other people's boundaries, but it is part of our role as human beings to be empathic and have compassion. So if we do sense that someone is really overextending themselves in our service, to really say, okay, you need to please step back. You've been doing so much. It can be a very reciprocal and supportive dance that way. But ultimately, it is on all of us to know that if we are people pleasers, that really is going to negatively affect and erode boundaries. Another sort of an extension, sort of a third sign that people have poor boundaries is sort of an extension of the people pleasing stuff, but it's people who become